I did a stream with Leanna about Soul Calibur 5 where we critiqued the outfits.
I heard.
And I forgot that Soul Calibur 5 might be the worst last entry in anything.
Yeah, it's
in I don't mean in terms of gameplay, sorry. I mean in terms
I know exactly what you mean.
Of all how I think every single character was treated or modeled or looks visually. And the other thing I forgot is how godlike all the art on the character select screen is.
Very strong.
And then when you press A and the model shows up,
and you're like,
and I think every single one was an across the board
disappointment.
Downgrade.
There's only one that's
Cervantes is the worst Cervantes.
The art is godlike,
I think
though.
Ivy is all right.
There's
Mitsurugi is worse.
There's only one character in that entire game that I liked better than their older version, and it's Lizard Man. Because he gets the 2 axes and he gets the wings.
The downgrade from godlike art into a 3D model that can't do it justice, though, is kind of the name of the game, sadly. Like, I don't think anything will...
such the case in 2 or 4.
I sure don't.
Like, nothing
they didn't surface that art.
Nothing will ever be as bad as Lament of Innocence.
Ugh.
Right? Like, that character artwork from the fucking beautiful Kojima paintings to the model you get is just a nightmare of downgrade. But
speaking of downgrades, Nightmare.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as good. And I forgot how Siegfried looked in that, and I saw him again. I'm like, I'm just trying to think. Like, I think Astaroth, his green outfit, I liked. You know, the one who's green, he's got a Skeletor face.
Yeah, it's okay.
That one I like, but it's still also, not a patch.
It's also like a weirdo costume instead of.
Then he has the weird automaton that has like slinky legs that are in like fuck me boots.
I remember specifically though when the artwork came in for Ein, and like we were I think you sent it to me in an email at work, and we both freaked the fuck out at that design. And we're losing our shit over it.
Yeah.
So I mean that's one strong design that doesn't get converted well into 3D, and I think that like that's not. Sometimes like you have to go back to the character art in a way and see like what was the intention here, and does the actual clothing they're wearing later look like that?
It's just Raphael was, I think, the worst. If you remember in 5, he's a weird vampire.
I do remember that.
He looks in the artwork like, you look at it, you're like, bam, Vampire Hunter D. Then you look at it, you look in the model, bam, LARPer.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He looks so shitty as model.
Okay.
But his fucking picture looks so cool. It looks all like D-like, and then it's just the biggest downgrade. So I was just like, man, I don't remember this. When I remember playing 5, I mean, like, yeah, the story mode sucks, but the game is solid, and you know.
The game, it's the best. It's my favorite one to play, but it's like disappointing in every other respect. It reminds me of Street Fighter 5 when it first came out. Honestly,
I also forgot that the intro is just Nightmare and Siegfried just fighting and shows no other characters, and I was just like, that's disappointing.
I think it's also what happens when you go from making your characters as like the only models in the game that you're focused on building off of to you're building like a wrestling game almost, of like you have a bunch of characters and then you have their unique accessories, but you have a character creator as well, and you have to make everything fit and
Nothing
be
would make me-
cyclable.
Yeah, I got that feeling.
You understand?
Nothing would make me happier than if they came out and said, sorry guys, there's not going to be a character creator in Soul Calibur 6, because those were always awful. They were just the worst.
It's an expectation now, so I doubt they ditch it.
The problem I always have with it is that you were unable to make a character that looked anywhere as good as the other fighters. So whenever you had a match between somebody's created character,
you get a hater
and a real,
fistinator.
Hater. But like it would look like trash. It looked like you'd grab something out of a Steam
Some
game.
people learned how to make it fucking work, though. There's like,
I think so.
Some people really like spent the time to get some crazy shit out there.
But it's like, it's almost so detailed that you can't get anything. Like, you'd almost want to work. Like, you can select the characters and accessorize. You can select the main stable of characters and fuck with them and shit.
Absolutely.
But
the ability to do that, is what causes like. In a way that it means that like you have to not you have to, but if they spent more time just making the model an exclusive thing that was like one-to-one with its artwork, it would often stray from a universal template that can be fitted with different accessories and clothing items.
Did you remember the fact that they got rid of Ivy's cool second type of costume?
Do
you remember what her alternate costume is in Soul Calibur 5?
I forget.
It's latex yellow with the biggest V cut going down to vagina land, and it has big poofy fur, but then there's rings of fur down all of her legs.
That sounds like shit.
I was like, oh, I saw the little tiny picture when you're selecting the thing, but when I actually looked at the model, I was like, oh man, that's bad. It's not great. But yeah, all that to say is that like Soul Calibur 6, whatever, it looks so much better.
Very excited
in terms of character modeling the character, and the slight changes they made to the designs.
Still the wrong Nightmare, but it's a better wrong Nightmare.
Yeah.
My brain can't even parse.
It's a better Siegfried.
What the all I know is Cervantes at a certain point lost the hat.
And he's not undead anymore. In Soul Calibur 5,
yeah. He's back. He is. Yeah.
Fucking stop that.
For whatever plot reason.
Go back in there.
There's 4 things you need to do with Cervantes. 1, 2 swords. 2, pirate. 3, hat. 4, zombie. Done.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Hat doesn't even count because that's pirate.
And sometimes you're getting not hat, but you're getting like mask thing.
Yeah, fine. What a pirate.
And then his alternate costume was he was like an Aqua Knight. He looked like Aquaman. He looked like Aquaman in like Injustice 2 if he had every single piece of armor on.
Yeah.
Looked bad. Anyway.
Aquaman.
That's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Ivy will never get better than that, and Nightmare will never get better than...
Soul Calibur 2 had the best designs.
Half and half.
Soul Calibur 2 had the best designs.
Yeah, the half and half was the best. It really was.
And I hope if they have the feature where you can change the characters' helmets or whatever, that number 2 on that list for Nightmare is give him his red puff out of the back of his head again.
Also, something I'm concerned with, but not so much Soul Calibur 6, but like I noticed definitely between when we did a critique of Tekken 7 and then. But that was, Tekken 7 was like a couple of years ago and it came out in arcades.
Yeah.
But like Soul Calibur 5 was like maybe a couple, like 2-3 years before that. I don't know the timeline, but I forgot how similar everyone is to Tekken 7. Everyone has tribal tattoos. Everyone has an emblem on their back of whatever animal or element they favor. Random chains, like.
There's probably some crossover.
There has to be, but I'm like, I don't like that. Especially when it's 2 completely different time periods. I'm like, you should make sure that whoever your art director is, character director, designer, whatever, is like, let's not make it look like Tekken.
But the thing with that is that a lot of the time if someone has a particular style, then they're like, my style is what I'm here to do.
It's very Nomura-ish.
And so Nomura comes in and brings Nomura first, and then the setting second, right? Yeah. And the same could be said of a lot of different artists and character designers that have a particular style. When I think of Soul Edge, Amano comes and brings Amano first, then your thing, whatever your world is second.
When I think of Soul Edge and Soul Calibur 2, maybe I think that's when it's crossing the line where I'm like, they are, with some craziness, with some zaniness, they still feel like period costumes. But like, I want to say 3, 4, and certainly 5, they're like, yeah, just... Who cares? Make them crazy costumes. I don't care anymore.
Well, I mean, 6 is certainly like toning things down.
It is, which I'm happy about. Anyway.
Pat?
The only thing I'm worried about for Soul Cal 6 is the roster, because they're really leaking those out real slow. I feel like
it's going to be
low, very low.
Like, I feel like it's going to be like 50.
It'll probably get DLC to bring it up there.
The timing and ordering of the no-shit choices is bizarre. Right? Like, Mitsurugi, Sophidia, Taki, Killick, and Nightmare, and Siegfried.
Then Zasalamel and someone else were thrown in together in the same announcement.
It's like you would expect it to go, like, down the character sheet, essentially. Like, Maxi hasn't been announced, which is kind of weird. Astaroth hasn't been announced.
Was there at launch.
We haven't seen what Rock's
Astaroth hasn't been announced.
Oh, I want Rock so bad.
Oh, yeah, and you're going to get him.
Better. He wasn't in 5, so.
But he was in 1, so
yeah, and he made way for the better character, Astaroth.
They were both in it.
I'd like Astaroth.
That you can have both.
I don't want both. I want just Astaroth.
Well, that's unreasonable.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I want Killick and Zyba.
Who the fuck is Zyba?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that person.
He's a little kid.
The monkey boy?
Replaced Killick.
The monkey boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is his name fucking Zyba?
Ziba.
Oh wow.
Do you remember
Zeba?
that?
Yeah.
Zeba. Do you remember that there was a girl that was like Talon but not Talon?
Yeah.
And then you remember the girl that was like Zanhua?
Yeah.
And then isn't?
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
her kid.
and then there was Taki's replacement as
There's
well.
Natsu.
Well, because it's a new generation of kids.
A
It's-
shit generation.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were going for the third
I
strike or
feel
the
like
MKX.
I feel like Soul Cal 5
Like, we know that this is a thing that can
Third
work.
Strike is the only one that holds up to me.
MKX
and Tekken 3.
Tekken 3, man.
Tekken 3 does. MKX does.
MKX, I think
Combat
two
kids
of
are good.
them
The kids are great.
Combat
Two of
kids
them are good.
No.
More of them are good than they're bad.
The kids are fucking great.
The kids are all
Their
right,
kids are
okay.
all right. And Tekken 3 also, the kids are all right. In fact, there's more examples of the kids being all right than there are of the kids
which
being
game where
shit.
the kids ain't all right?
I mean-
which one's the offspring?
Soul Cal 5 is the number one that drops into my head
they're
because
not all right.
the main kid is the worst character Soul Cal has ever had.
And
Patroclus is the worst.
And his sister
I guess
is almost
the reason
as
why
bad.
I don't hate it as much is because I still respect the balls of time jumping. I like when series do that a lot.
So do I. I was really
And
excited.
So like when I'm like, okay, it's clearly not tacky, but it's a new generation of
But I
tacky.
don't respect it when it's worse.
Yeah, that's the problem because Sophidia, Sophidia and Cassandra were replaced by two of the worst characters ever in Soul Calibur, who are annoying, and they get a storyline to show you how annoying. And
when you
shitty
go
they
through
are.
their story, they're awful characters. Absolutely.
Like Yuri Lowenthal as Patroclus is like almost as annoying as like Virtual Fighter 2 Leon.
But if you're just kind of, I don't know. I just felt like when I was looking at some of those designs where, like I was just staring at like this is the new generation of that, and like without any plot or ideas of what it was, I'm like, yeah, okay, new staff monkey kid to replace Killick, okay. Sure, I can see that. New ninja girl. Okay, yep. Sophia gets broken down into two people. Yeah, okay.
But where
like
it
it makes just on a
where it breaks down
you
for
know.
Soul Calibur though is that they're almost the exact character.
And they're nearly exclusively
So their movesets are very similar. So if you're going to do that, why not just keep Killick or why not just keep
But their
Weber?
movesets are for people that play them. They're like, this is not.
like but it's like
sure.
Jean-
It's a nightmare Siegfried
At the end
situation.
of the day, it's the same weapon.
It's the same weapon.
But
Yes.
the really frustrating part is when
I'd rather all
Zhanghua and fucking Sophidia's daughters look exactly like them.
Cassandra.
Yeah, so it's like, why even bother? Zhanghua's daughter might as well be the same character model as Zhanghua, and I don't remember her fucking name.
The stuff with like Cassandra and whatnot though, like that was before that was a successor before the series itself moved forward in time.
Yeah.
That's true.
So there, you understand, you're not going to get a drastic jump because Cassandra was supposed to be a replacement.
Yeah, kept her around because she's better.
She's cool.
I like Cassandra a lot better. Than
She's cool.
Sophidia.
Yeah.
But also, it is weird is like we're having another staff character, but we get rid of the scythe character. We get rid of the Setsuka's like little dagger sword there.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the draw style.
You've made a new character, but it uses the same weapon, but you got rid of the other
The unique character.
weapons.
Not everyone can be a slam dunk like Sean Matsuda, you know?
Not everyone.
Not
everyone.
everyone. Slammed on my
That's
You're
it.
right. You got a
That's
point.
it, man.
Not everyone can be a Blanca like Necro was. Is he? I don't even know.
Necro has grown
He's
on me
Necro
over
Dalsim.
time.
But he's a Dalsim too.
Necro has grown on me as the weirdest Street Fighter character.
I still think it's 12.
I still think it's 12.
Really?
Yeah, because Necro still has to like adhere to like human proportions.
See, that's where I disagree because for me, the weirdest part isn't the ability stuff; it's the look. So 12, while being like a blob monster, is a uniform colored like flat.
Yeah, but his
blob
head
monster.
is a shape as opposed to a human skull.
Yeah, but when you look at Necro, he not only is he all stretchy and electric, and he sings all goofy and shit. He's also painted like a clown. And he's wearing like a purple like an asshole.
No, I feel like 12 is the villain of the week that Q has to defeat.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
That's
Like,
what I
are you saying
see.
the Q is in an X-Files style show?
Yeah, totally.
There's
Why
a
not?
supernatural or like biological weapon.
I mean, he's a throwback fucking like robo detective, you know.
Hey
like,
Q, do you want to go on an investigation? All right, but there's a weird monster you can punch. It just like, walks off.
Yeah.
The kids run away.
Best.
It is, but like there is a lot going on with like Necro, and like yes, Necro is a JoJo side villain. That is true.
He reminds me of Alessi a little bit.
He's a little bit like that. He's a little bit like Doppio. And,
just like when I look at 12, 12's like a weird blob monster, and everything weird that goes along with that, right? Like his head. Mm-hmm. But when I look at Necro, I look at let's throw some clown shit on the page and then make him electric stretchy, because he's an electric stretchy clown from Russia, and he's 5.
And we love it better than the Soul Calibur kids.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
It just takes time. Yeah, in any case.
I don't know, the first time I ever saw Q, I was like, damn, yeah! It's a robot in a trench coat.
But remember, before even Q had a shot, you still had New Generation. You had 3, and that's where you were just looking at the yin and yang. And that, to me, was where I was like, okay, these kids are fucking bosses, because you took Lee and you took Gen and you split them in 2, and you turned it into Duo and fucking Troa.
Aside from Sean, like the New Generation roster weren't really adhering to past characters. They were just new.
They were just new. And Alex was supposed to be
the main character. I wish it.
What's awesome, I still fucking love, like the coolest thing about Alex's like design as a character is in his moveset. His moveset is a tribute to the entire franchise of Street Fighter, because
he's got something.
He's got charge moves, he's got motions, and he's got grabs that are like, he represents the whole moveset, and that's fucking sick.
The only thing he doesn't have is a mash, but
mashes suck.
You know,
wait, he does have a mash. The hits on his throw during the back turned grab.
But other characters have grabs that you have to do that with.
But those, it's he doesn't have that. But admittedly, still, like his moveset is supposed to represent like the everyman.
I never actually thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's absolutely. It's really good. It's deliberate. Anyway,
okay, so